What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and back with another viewer request. I hope you all had a wonderful Father's Day weekend. My little daughter, that's 3 years old, got me the best gift that she could give me. Sick. She got me sick. So, a little stuffy here as I record. But we've got ourselves a viewer request of Namor the Submariner, the new Merfolk Lord. But if you like what I'm doing here, if you like the deck text, the history stuff, everything else in between, Magic for the Working Class, feel free to subscribe, but only if you feel I've earned it. And now, without further ado, let's try to make it through this while I can still breathe. Well, we have Namor the Submariner here. He's a star 4 for 3, so, you know, a pretty big defense for 3 here, and he has flying, and his power is equal to the number of merfolk you control. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell with one or more blue mana symbols in its mana cost, create that many 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens. So you'll make a number of blue merfolk equal to the blue mana symbols, or the blue pips, if you will, in the non-creature spell. So he's a Merfolk Lord. We're going to be playing Merfolk Kindred through and through. And we're going to try to get there using some spells that cost a bit of blue mana. Some that have a couple blue mana symbols, a few that have 3 or more. But overall, trying to still keep it low to the ground so that way we can get in with plenty of Merfolk. So who is our supporting cast today? Well, you know, I'm going to be really honest with you. After I stopped playing Legacy in paper and haven't been able to go, I lost track of how Merfolk did anymore. And sweet baby Jesus, there are so many Merfolk Lords. So many. Most of this deck is Merfolk Lords. But let's look at our supporting cast, shall we? We have Archmage of Runes. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw 1 card. I did put quite a bit of counter magic and other stuff in there, so this is just an all-around good utility card. That's why I put it in here. We have a Tuma Atlantean Warlord. He's a warlord. He is a Merfolk Lord for 4. He's a 3/4. Other Merfolk get +1/+1, and whenever one or more Merfolk you control attack a player, draw a card. So it helps give you some card advantage. He's among the slower of the Merfolk Lords out there, but still, the fact that you get to draw a card when you attack is pretty good. Deep Channel Mentor. Blue creatures you control are unblockable. This is a very expensive, in terms of mana cost wise, Merfolk. That's going to help you get through with a lot of unblockable stuff. You'll also notice he's kind of a backup to another game plan we have, which is turning our opponent's stuff into islands. Eluge, the Shoreless Sea, is in the deck, and it's because his power and toughness are equal to the number of islands. But that's not what's most important. What's most important is whenever Eluge enters or attacks, put a flood counter on target land. It's an island in addition to its other types for as long as it has a flood counter on it. You want to turn your opponent's land into an island. And then the first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn costs 1 blue or 1 generic less to cast for each land you control with a flood counter on it. We want to put flood counters on our opponent's lands because several of our creatures, or, well, a couple of our creatures give us Island Walk, which is very good. We have Emperor Mihail the Second. He's a 3/3 for 3. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast Merfolk spells from the top of your library. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, you can pay 1. If you do, make a Merfolk. So just like a self-tax to generate more little dudes. Harbinger of the Seas. Non-basic lands are islands. Yes, this is mass land and I'll. Man, Namor has an enormous fist in this art. His fists are as big as his head. What is going on with the proportionality in this? And then we have Copla, Warden of Waves. It's a 2/2 for 3. Spells your opponent's cast cost that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 more to cast, and abilities your opponents activate that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 more to cast. So to cast or activate. Thing of this is like giving Ward 2 to all of your Merfolk. A nice little legendary Merfolk in here for protection. Harbinger of the Seas, by the way, is also less about completely stacking out your opponents and more about getting islands, so that way your Lord of Atlantis can give the island walk. Speaking of which, we have Lord of Atlantis, the original Merfolk Lord. He's a 2/2 for 2. Other Merfolk you can other Merfolk, not just yours, get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. There you go. There's your Island Walk for you. We have Low Mage Mentor. Whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, we have quite a few counter spells in here. You may put a 1/1 Merfolk onto the battlefield. Tap 7 Merfolk you control to counter a spell. We have Master of the Pearl Trident. He also gives Island Walk, right? Other Merfolk other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. So he's just the updated power creep version of Lord of the Atlantis, whereas Lord of the Atlantis is symmetrical. This one's asymmetrical. We have Merfolk Sovereign. Other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1, and you can tap. Target Merfolk can't be blocked this turn. We have Marrow Regeri, which is a 2/2 for 3. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. Noticing a theme here. There's so many Merfolk Lords. Like I said, so many. Whenever you play a Merfolk spell, you may tap or untap target permanent. This will help you get through if you don't have Island Walk to tap down some stuff. Mistcloaked Herald, it's just a Merfolk that can't be blocked. Seafloor Oracle, whenever a Merfolk you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. This is really good because if you get in with like 5, then you draw 5 cards. And Merfolk are pretty low to the ground in their mana cost, so yeah, good all the way around. We have Sea Hunter, who is a mercenary, but being a 2/2 for 4, you can pay 3 and tap him to search your library for a Merfolk and put it into play, then shuffle your library. So he's like a tutor, but he puts it into play. Yeah, it costs 4 and 3 to activate, but you know, it can be useful. We have Stony Brook Banneret, Island Walk, Merfolk spells and wizard spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Civaloon of Sea and Sky. I have the fancy art of this one. I really like this card. I just don't have enough Merfolk to justify making a Merfolk deck with it. Sylvan of Sea and Sky has Indestructible as long as you control at least 2 other Merfolk. And then when it attacks, you draw a card, and other Merfolk you control have Ward 1. We have Thada Adele, Acquisitor. She's a 2/2 for 3 and Island Walk. And then whenever she deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for an artifact card and exile it. That player shuffles his or her library until end of turn. You may play that card. This card's nuts. Poking in with it is absolutely disgusting. Stealing people's soul rings. Some people have artifacts in there that are their win con. Steal that crap from them as well. Just keep stealing their stuff out of their decks. This card's really fun for the person playing it, but I will say that this will put a big target on your back because people really hate having their stuff being stolen, friends. We have Tishana's Tidebender. Flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target activated ability or triggered ability. If an ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, that permanent loses all abilities for as long as Tasha's Tidebender remains on the battlefield. This is actually pretty good. You can shut down all sorts of things with this. Shutting down your opponent's planeswalker. Although planeswalkers aren't as common, but like shutting down their... say they have a utility land they're doing something with. Say they have some other sort of thing that they're doing. Shut it down. In the great words of that one dude, Jake Tapper from, I think it's Jake Tapper? Jake Taffer from Bar Rescue. Shut it down. We have Vodelian Hex Catcher. He's a 1/1 for 2. He's a flash. He's a little Merfolk Lord. Other Merfolk get +1/+1. And sacrifice a Merfolk. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. So it's like a non-creature Mana Tithe. Or not Mana Tithe, Force Spike on a stick. We have Volshe Tide Turner. You can tap to add 1 blue. Spend it only to cast instant or sorcery spells or a kicked spell. It's also a Merfolk, so it's going to help us get our sorceries and instants. For our sorceries, we have big bomb spells doing big bomb things. This is a dorky little one. We have Aquatex Will, put a flood counter on target land. That land is an island in addition to its other type, as long as it has a flood counter on it. If you control a Merfolk, draw a card. So it'll make somebody's thing an island, so that way you can, island walk over, and has the benefit of being a Merfolk spell, and you get to draw a card. Distant Melody. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. It's pretty fun. Echo Casting Symposium. Target player creates a token that's a copy of target creature you control. And then Paradigm. It can be misdirected, but it seemed, I wanted to try it out in this deck, right? I wanted to try it and Rite of Replication out because a lot of the lords are not legendary, so being able to get in with them is pretty interesting and fun. We have ourselves Inundate. Return all non-blue creatures to their owner's hand. It's also triple blue pips. So something you'll notice here, like this is triple blue, this has double blue, this has quad blue, triple blue, quad blue, double. These are all designed to get you more Merfolk with Namor's ability. Invoke the Winds, gain control of target artifact or creature. Untap it for 5. For 5, you can't go wrong, and it will net you 4 Merfolk. Irenicus Vial Duplication. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary if that creature is legendary. We have Raise the Palisades. Choose a creature type. Return all creatures that aren't of the chosen type to their owner's hands. Also extremely strong in a Kindred deck. Rite of Replication. You make a token. If you kick it, you make 5 tokens instead that are copies of target creature. Even has a Merfolk on the art, right? Seagate Restoration. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size the rest of the game. We have Season of Weaving. Choose up to 5 paws worth of stuff. You can draw a card. You can choose an artifact or creature you control to make a token copy. And you can return each non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. Don't do that one. Don't bounce your own things back to your hand unless you really need to. And then we have Secret of Bloodbending. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may waterbend 10. This actually shouldn't be too hard, considering how many tokens that you might be able to get out there. You control target opponent during their next combat phase. If the spell's additional cost was paid, you control that player during their next turn instead. And then you exile it. Now, we have ourselves Instants. Abjure, sacrifice a blue permanent, counter a spell. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of counter magic here. An offer you can't refuse, Arcane Denial, counter spell, Archmage's Charm, Cryptic Command. Commandeer isn't really a counter spell, but does steal someone's non-creature spell. We have Cancel, Flare of Denial, right? Mana Drain is in here. Negate, Rewind, Muddle a Mixture. All of those are counter spells, right? Muddle a Mixture also has the added bonus of having Transmute, which is a really cool ability that I wish they'd bring back. Discard this card, search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as this card, put it in your hand. So you can transmute this to find something that costs 2, like one of your Merfolk Lords. We have Frantic Search in here. It draws cards. And some of these counter spells also draw cards, like Cryptic Command can draw you a card. Archmage's Charm can draw you a card, right? Arcane Denial will draw you a card. We have Even the Score, which will draw you cards. It costs 3 blue pips less to cast if an opponent drew 4 more cards this turn, and then you draw X cards. That would be sweet. There's a lot of people who like to draw lots of things. Use this as a punishment for them. High Tide to make everything, all islands tap for an additional for that turn. We have Opt in here, and then 2 removal cards in Pongify and Rapid Hybridization. Artifacts, we have Biden the Thassa. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and you can tap 2 and tap it. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. We have ourselves Sapphire Medallion, makes our stuff cost cheaper if it's blue, and Chronicle of Victory. I wanted to try this over Coat of Arms, because Coat of Arms does silly things and is symmetrical. Chronicle of Victory, 6-drop. Choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +2/+2. Have first strike and trample. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, draw a card. And then we have our enchantments. Also, if you want to, because I put counterbalance in here, slot top in and it'll make it easier. But I did not slot top in because, you know what, I wanted to be a little bit... I like playing on hard mode. And like I've said plenty of times with these are supposed to be kind of like precons. But if you want, you know what, we can go Sensei's... Oh my god, did I misspell it? Oh, Scryfall's not responding. That's cool. Well, you know, I will not be able to put in top. Just imagine Sapphire Medallion is a top. So that goes well with Counterbalance, which is whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, counter that spell if it has the same mana value as the revealed card. We have Deep Root Pilgrimage enchantment. Whenever one or more non-token merfolk you control become tapped, make a blue merfolk creature with hexproof. Having the hexproof on the tokens is so good. We have Deep Root Waters. Whenever you cast a merfolk spell, create a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token with hexproof. Again, hexproof so good. Imposter Syndrome. Whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. This can get out of hand very quickly. When I was doing some of the gold fishing, it got nuts. And I mean nuts. We have Kindred Discovery. Choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters or attacks, draw a card. We have Marrow Commerce. At the end of your turn, untap all merfolk you control. And we have Reflections of Litjara. Choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Lands. I did run Secret Tunnel. In case you can't get the Island Walk strategy online, we can Secret Tunnel some stuff. We have 33 islands, a Mystic Sanctuary, which will bring back an instant sorcery, Reliquary Tower. I felt like it was okay in this deck because we could potentially draw a lot of cards. Halmar Depths. When it enters tapped, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. And then we have Rivendell, Scry only if you control a legendary creature. So that is the build. Let's go ahead and take a look at playtesting. Let's see what did you give me today, Moxfield? That's a lot of lands. You know, I'm gonna play it. We're gonna hit draw. Ooh, we got an island. Thank you for another island, friend. I'm not gonna play anything on turn 1. Not gonna play anything on turn 2. I am not playing this on turn 2. I want to get merfolk off the pip, so I'm going to actually do this way. We play an island. We have Commandeer in hand. Like I said, you exile 2 blue cards from your hand, and you can gain control target non-creature spell, and you can choose new targets for that copy. We are going to play Namor on this turn. All right. So right now, he is a 1/4. Next turn, we have this. We're going to play this island. And so we have some counter magic, right? We're going to go ahead and tap for 2. And we're going to play Marrow Commerce. And you know what? This is going to give us a Merfolk token. Wrong Merfolk token. This is going to give us a Merfolk token. There we are. We have ourselves a Merfolk token. Being at the end of your turn, untap all merfolk. Well, I'm not going to be attacking with a 2/4. So, there we go. We have an island here. We're up to 5 lands. This is pretty good. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to cast a Lull Mage Mentor. You know, so whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may put a 1/1 merfolk token onto the battlefield, and then you tap 7. And then we're going to say, during an opponent's turn, we're going to Arcane Denial something. So they're going to counter a spell, they get to draw 2 cards at the beginning of the next upkeep. I get to draw 1 card, so we're going to say we draw our card for that. And then we get a merfolk token. Damn it. It's the top one. We get another merfolk token because there's a blue pip. Next turn, we play an island. We have, what now, 6 lands? I am going to go ahead and I'm going to play a counterbalance. Oh, sorry. I got 2 merfolk tokens for that because we countered a spell. So we have counterbalance down here. And we have marrow counters. Not bad. We'll say we flip and we don't counter anything, right? During an opponent's turn, they're probably going to try to wipe us, so we're going to rewind, which will counter a spell, untaps 4 lands. We are going to get 3 Merfolk. 1, 2, 3. 2 for the blue pips, 1 for countering a spell, which is pretty big and spicy. And we got to untap 4 lands. Next turn, we have Season of Weaving. We only have 6. I'm going to cast Echo Casting Symposium. And I am going to target Lull Mage Mentor. So we're going to get a copy here. Look at that. Copy. Next turn, we untap, upkeep, draw, and we're going to need to make a copy. We're going to make another copy of Lull Mage Mentor. So remember, we can tap 7 untapped Merfolk we control to counter a spell. We're going to say we have to remove something with the Lull Mage. This is going to create a Merfolk. Look at that. We got ourselves another Merfolk, friends. And then we go to next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to play Archmage. We also got another Merfolk that turn. Oh, wait, not another Merfolk. Duh. I'm big stupid. We got another one of these guys. Next turn. Island. I'm going to keep this island in my hand, and I am going to cast Seagate Restoration for 6 because it's cheapened. It's going to draw me 4 cards plus, or 4 cards total. I'm going to get 3 Merfolk off of it. Boom, boom, boom. We draw 4. We're going to play an island for the turn. There we are. Oh, yeah. We also got to have a token of something. I'm going to say we made a token of this dude. So that way we actually had to tap 5. That's pretty neat. We have 2 mana available. We have so much stuff. And yeah, you probably would have been board wiped by now. But you know what? A boy can dream. And we're going to put this guy into play. We're going to play Vidalian Hexcatcher. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. And you sack a Merfolk to counter a non-creature spell unless it's controller pays 1. We're also going to say someone's going to try to Wrath. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counter that spell. And then each of these 4 are going to trigger, which gives us a Merfolk, a Merfolk, a Merfolk, and a Merfolk, right? So we only net lost 3 Merfolk from that that little doohickey we did there. And if we have to counter another one, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nets us 4 more. Yeah, it gets very gross. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. We'll open up one more hand here. Yeah, similar stuff. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. What's